What's up everyone? Welcome back to your channel, The Fighterverse. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest mysteries in Street Fighter 6. You've all been asking, is Bison really Bison? And what happened to the real Bison? Well, we're about to uncover the truth behind the man, the myth, the legend, and what the latest installment in the Street Fighter series has revealed. So, harness your psycho power and get ready for a deep dive into the lore and secrets of Street Fighter 6. Before we psycho on the matter, like and subscribe to our channel for more fighting game content like this. Alright, let's get into it. By now, most of us have seen the Season 2 DLC, which came as a huge surprise to many of us. They didn't even give Akuma a chance to shine before dropping major features, including the introduction of Terry and Mai from Fatal Fury into the Season 2 DLC. That's not all. The amazing Elena has finally made an appearance, bringing some much-needed representation from Street Fighter 3, especially since SF6 is set after the events of the third game. But the biggest shocker, the return of the main Psycho-infused villain, M. Bison. Many thought he was gone for good, but he's back. Or is he really? Bison's reveal, we got to see more of his Street Fighter 6 backstory in one cutscene. We see a nameless man appearing out of nowhere with nothing on, much like Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator. Some street thugs, likely from the Mad Gear game, start hurling insults at the nameless man. Now, what happens next is quite the spectacle. He swiftly beats them down as one of the gang members gasps, "Who the hell are you?" Nameless man replies, "Who I am, I do not remember who I am." Interestingly, this nameless man is, you guessed it, Bison, but with amnesia perhaps. He manages to say, and I quote, "I may not know who I am, but what I desire is crystal clear. So long as I follow this hunger inside of me, I will eventually find the one who fulfill me. I will be whole again." Seems like Bison might not be entirely Bison. Something feels off about him, and the way he takes on Bison's role makes it seem like he isn't really the same Bison, if he's Bison at all. He might be a mix of his former parts or something. The fact that this new Bison himself guesses that he might be an incomplete vessel, and that psycho powers outside his body, initially in the ruined lab, suggests that the Street Fighter V body did die. This new body might just be another backup. The storyline seems to suggest that while the body may be a backup, the essence of Bison, his desires, his hunger for power, persists. This creates a fascinating dynamic as this new entity navigates his existence, driven by an insatiable hunger to become whole again. Which brings me to my next point, the World Tour scene. If you've played through the World Tour mode, you know that Psycho Drive appears to be activated. In a dramatic moment, we see Bison's cap getting infused with Psycho energy, causing quite a stir among the Shadaloo members, who are visibly terrified by the commotion the Psycho Drive is creating. As the scene progresses, we witness a collage of images of M. Bison from previous installments, forming into a Zordon-like figure, laughing hysterically. This eerie figure embodies the essence of Bison's legacy, a spectral reminder of his enduring influence. Then, in a startling twist, the old Zordon Bison confronts the new body Bison. What happens next is nothing short of jaw-dropping. The new Bison, with a determined look, manages to punch the face of the Zordon-like Bison. In that moment, it appears as though he absorbs the Psycho Drive Bison with his punch. This scene raises a tantalizing question. Was the new Bison infused with the essence of the old Bison, or did that punch pave the way for the older Bison's possession of his body? This scene is packed with implications. If the new Bison is infused with the old Bison, it suggests a fusion of their powers and memories, potentially making him more formidable than ever. On the other hand, if the punch allowed the older Bison to possess the new body, it could mean that the old Bison's spirit now controls the new vessel, driven by renewed hunger for power and dominance. The ambiguity of the moment adds a layer of intrigue to Bison's character arc in Street Fighter 6. Is he now a hybrid of past and present, or is he merely a vessel for the undying will of the original Bison? This question leaves fans eagerly speculating about his true nature and the extent of his power.
M. Bison is the villain who is motivated by self-serving interests and the desire to dominate the world at all costs. Megalomaniacal and psychopathic, he seeks to rule the world with an iron fist, while also being universally regarded as one of history's greatest martial artists, with the willingness to destroy anything or anyone who stands in his way. The egotistical Bison has a vast god complex, but is unable to empathize with others, happy to see others suffer at his hands, and never feels any remorse for the numerous atrocities that he commits against others. The description given by Bison is comparable to that given by a real-life psychopath. His wide grin, one that exposes not just the teeth but also the gums, is indicative of Bison's malevolent and sadistic disposition. His sense of humor is twisted, and he refers to himself in the third person occasionally, possibly to allay his own feelings of self-importance. His evil is greatly reflected in the look of his eyes. His eyes have no pupils, greatly reflecting the evilness inside of him. You might ask yourself, Why Bison has white pupils? Well, it is said that anime characters who don't have pupils are typically evil, prone to trances, or are possessed. Characters who usually have pupils, but lose them temporarily, are usually possessed, unconscious, mentally preoccupied, or dead. The pupils are a simple and universal visual metaphor for a person's state of mind. Almost nothing is known about M. Bison's past prior to his appearances in the mainline games. His country of origin is also unknown. The only known details of his past is that he was at one point nothing more than a young martial artist like any other, but with overwhelming ambitions. He originally wielded soul power and passed down his knowledge onto Rose, who was his only disciple. However, in order to be the best in the world of martial arts, M. Bison murdered his own master before giving in to complete chaos. M. Bison's master was said to be the only known person in the world who could manipulate the evil power known as the psycho power at the time. And it is also said that, before his death, M. Bison's master passed the power to only 3 other students, M. Bison himself being one of them. Another version dictates that after killing his parents at a young age, the young Bison was found and raised by a tribe of nomadic gypsies. The leader of the tribe took Bison under her wing and trained him in the art of soul power, using one's soul as a tool. However, Bison discovered that the soul had 2 sides, one of good and one of evil, and purged all of the goodness from his soul. This created psycho power, an extremely destructive energy, with the good half of his soul manifesting as a woman named Rose. From that day on, Bison quickly built up his criminal empire, culminating in the formation of the evil organization, Shadowloo, a very powerful and deadly criminal organization that is responsible for dealing biochemical drugs and arms. Its base is located in the region of Thailand. Bison's motto is to rule his empire with an iron fist, characteristic of an evil dictator. In his operations, he has used satellites and technology to try and destroy cities across the world. One of those can be attributed to his loyal servant Fang and his Operations Change project. The 7 PSA, Psycho-Power Stratospheric Aircraft, nicknamed as the Black Moons, are a group of doomsday weapons controlled by Shadowloo. Black Moons are part of Operation Chains, which was planned by Shadowloo to cause chaos in order to increase Bison's psycho power. Each Black Moon requires a control key, shaped like a small piece of chess, to be activated in a control device in the Shadowloo headquarters, which will cause them to detonate and release a powerful electromagnetic pulse, disabling electronics in a wide area. They were set above the United States of America and other important countries from around the world. Other aspects of his evilness is his brainwashing. In Street Fighter II, M. Bison controlled Ken with his psycho power, brainwashing him in the process. After this event, Ken became very violent, which is why this version of Ken is affectionately known as Violent Ken. He was vulnerable to mind control because of Ken's jealousy over Ryu's fighting ability. As the outstanding individual that he is, Bison used this as an opportunity to imbue Ken with psycho power and turn him into a pawn for the Shadowloo. Ken luckily broke free later. Another of Bison's evil endeavors is his repeated attempts in capturing Ryu, with the purpose of using Ryu's body as a host's body, or brainwashing Ryu into becoming a soldier of the Shadowloo. Bison has even gotten on a semi-truck and tried to run over Ryu for the sake of being bluntly evil. One of the worst acts of Bison is the brainwashing and kidnapping of teenage girls, with the purpose of creating an elite group of personal assassins called the Dolls. His brainwashing at one point had such a hold over the dolls that if he were to die, so would they. The tragedy behind Cammy. When Cammy was first introduced into the series, she had a convenient case of amnesia, forgetting her origins. It was later revealed that she had worked alongside M. Bison as part of the Shadowloo Dolls as an assassin for Bison. Which brings me to my next point. All the murders Bison endured. One of them is that he killed the parents of Juri Han. Her father, a famous Korean lawyer, had a case against the Shadowloo. Finding their whereabouts, the Shadowloo killed them and almost killed Juri Han, as she survived a bullet through her eye socket. Another one is Bison and the Shadowloo stealing the Thunderfoot tribe lands and killing T-Hawk's father. A third one we can talk about is the killing of Giles' best friend and mentor, Charlie Nash. Charlie had caught up with Bison and been shot by an aircraft multiple times on his back, before falling down a cliff. Last but not least, we can speak about the death of Dorai, Chun-Li's father. As a young girl, Chun-Li's father attempted to protect her from Bison and his evil organization, only to be killed. It is said that the assassin sent to kill Chun-Li's father was Cammy White, while under the spell of Bison.
So, what do you think? Is this new Bison a fusion of old and new? Or has the original Bison found a way to possess this new body? Leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe for more theories and info. Thanks for watching. This has been your host, CB. Welcome to the Fighterverse.